I tried to dress in character again, like I did for Luca. This time I went with like the denim jacket and the basic t-shirt, but I feel like instead of giving like Victor, I'm ending up giving Rahim. And am I mad about that? Of course not, because Rahim's my king. I am Styleboy and welcome to my world, and today we will be discussing all my opinions of Love, Victor, specifically season 2, but we'll mix a couple with some opinions. If you don't know, Love, Victor is a spin-off series of the film Love, Simon, and I love Simon. Like, I rewatched it this year, and while there were things I was like, ooh, sweet, no, I still felt my heart pounding, my emotions. It's still one of my favorite films, and I honestly just wanted to chill and chat with you. Plus, how many people recommended this series to me? So I feel like we're gonna get into this. But before we start, let me give you some disclaimers. One, all my opinion, like, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And number 2, spoilers ahead. So if you have not seen it and you want to, I'd recommend to watch it first, and then this is almost like a discussion point. Or if you don't want to see it, you just want to hear me chat, perfect. And number 3, let me give some credits to who this is inspired by. So firstly is Amanda Beebe, the queen of these. She does so many where she like gets ready, like I'm doing today. I'm gonna give you some skincare and possibly makeup. And secondly, Lucy Wood, because she also did one of these, like a cup of tea and talk about Gilmore Girls. And before we start, you also got to make sure you subscribe. You're not just gonna be chilling here just for no reason, duh. So let us begin. I'm gonna first start off because I've already cleansed my face, so I'm gonna go and start with my toner, haha. The structure of this video is that we're gonna be basically doing like one positive and one negative, because I kind of realized when I've done like, my like Devil Wears Prada video, a lot of it was just like negative in a row. And this time I thought to spice it up, give you duality, give you the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. Opinion number 1. I really enjoyed season 2. Season 2 kind of did the damn thing. I feel like it kind of improved, not all issues, and I'll get into like a couple that I'm still like, ugh, but a lot of the issues that I had with season 1, because season 1 was kind of a hot mess, but season 2 was just so good, and like it kept me entertained. I would admit the first 4 episodes got me a bit rocky, but at that point, bitch, we were on like a love affair. I fell in love with characters more. I felt like I understood characters a lot more. It became also a lot more deeper, as in like actual queer issues being spoken about. I know, revolution for a gay show to have gay issues being spoken about, haha. And I generally had a good time, and I felt very emotionally invested. The cliffhanger ending, bitch, why? However, my first kind of like other opinion that I'm like, sweetie, no. We still need more representation. More queer representation, more diverse representation. I know that anyone who's like saying they're like, well, this show isn't meant to be perfect. Sweet, I understand that, and you can show that through complex characters that make mistakes and whatever. But that does not mean we have to like literally be like, nope, no one else is part of this. Because season 1 felt super straight. And then like, it didn't really have a lot of queer issues being spoken about. I watched Trin talk about season 1. She even said like season 1 felt very straight. Oh, by the way, skincare products will be listed down below. Even for me, I was like, season 1 felt very straight. And while season 2, there were so many more queer issues being spoken about, there was about only 4 queer characters. One, they kind of like teased at the end. I was like, haha. We need more queer representation. I would love to see a black queer person on there. I'd love to see someone who's not a standard size, and like maybe even a queer disabled person. That'd be pretty sick, because again, do they exist in this fucking world? That's something that really pisses me off. One other good point I have to say, I feel like there was a lot more character development, and the characters of season 1 became almost stronger, as in like they were more concrete, there was more flaw. They were not just seen as like one thing, they were complex. And I really like that. My favorite character development was actually the parents this season, Victor's parents. One, because it's the mum from Ugly Bay, and of course, you know I have to stand. No, generally, I feel like their development is so incredible, but my favorite is the dad. The dad is the ride or die bitch, and I really liked his growth. The more open he was with his son, the more open and the more like he was able to grow, and I was just like, bitch, we love to see it. Something else I feel like, ooh, and I don't know if this was other people with this series, but this was just me personally. At moments, not all the time, but at moments, it felt like it was written by straight writers. And I understand obviously like not everything has to be super hyper real, because again, it's a TV show. I'm not expecting it to be like the most realistic stuff ever, no. But there were moments I was like, this is unrealistic to a degree. Like, this seems like straight people guessing what gay people would do. And it's just like, nah. there. So there's a couple of moments where I think they really fumble the bag and they just don't understand. One of them is around the theme of protection. So in season 1, when Victor warns Benji and his ex about, hey, my family's homophobic, like, just to let you know because I don't want you guys to be in danger. Yes, I understand the wedding is a little bit more to protect himself, but at the end of the day, it's to protect them as well. Because as a gay person myself, if someone would warn me about like, hey, this might happen, I want to do this to protect you because I don't want you to go through homophobia, I'd be like, thank you for letting me know, because that honestly does help so much. Because I don't want to deal with slurs, I don't want to be thrown around with homophobic abuse. Instead of understanding like that, Benji and his ex get really rude at him, you're like, ugh. And I understand, like, yes, it's like you have to hide yourself. No one wants to do that, but it's also like to protect yourself. That's why when so many people come out, so many queer people will say to them, like, please make sure you're safe and in a safe environment to do so. Because again, it can be freaking dangerous. Or even in like, what was it, season 2, when Victor quits because someone's being a homophobic arsehole. Instead of kind of being supportive and kind of being like, are you okay? I understand you really enjoyed this. Benji started saying shit like, the straight in you is finally going away and you can be your authentic queer self, although you can like sports and be gay. And there's so many nuances that I think get ignored and become very much like side topics versus real topics because you don't have queer people in the room when you are writing the script. And because of that, sometimes it just lags. And it also goes into actors as well. I didn't really mention this in the video. I don't know about if the actor who plays Rahim is queer, but I know the actor who plays Victor is not. So it would have been just so cool to have queer people playing queer people. I really don't understand what's so difficult about it, because I feel like the roles would be more authentic and they'd be more fulfilled. Queer people would understand the nuances, so then they are able to complete characters, but no. Let's go into a positive now. My faves, my ride or dies. Okay, my fave characters are Felix, because Felix, I'm sorry, how is Felix fucking single? Oh my god, I love Felix. I just want to give him a huge hug and be like, it's okay, baby. Because honestly, he deserves the fucking world, okay? He is by far one of the most sweetest characters of them all. And I like, probably one of my favorites. My second favorite character, I think Mia. Just full stop, Mia deserves better, okay? Mia fucking deserves everything. She gets always thrown with the worst. Oh my god, season 2, she gets slut shamed for Victor's thing. Let the black girls get the best, okay? It's so annoying because she honestly gets thrown with every single shit situation. Her dad's an asshole because he basically said, my career is more important than your well-being. Gets shit boyfriend, gets another bad boyfriend. Yes, she gets Andrew, who honestly had the major glow up that no one was expecting. She truly deserves better. My third favorite is Rahim, because Rahim is me. He is my personality within a character. But see how he came in like the fucking like Blackpink top. I was literally like, Blackpink in your area. But also he ends up being probably one of my favorites because so many other issues get spoken around when he's around. So for example, like how a lot of gay men end up shaming or not wanting to date feminine guys. I really want to do my makeup, so I think I'm actually gonna do so. I want to feel pretty, okay? I thought he was funny. I thought he was so stylish. And again, they even spoke about race with him. And, which this will be a compliment that his parents are accepting, and we have a queer Muslim person. I got two honorable mentions, which are Lake and Pilar. I think Pilar, again, is another character that kind of deserves work. She gets thrown with all this shit and she's like, ah. But I'm also like Lake. I actually really like Lake season 2. Like, I think Lake is that bitch, okay? I think she was such a good girlfriend. She was so caring, so loving, so everything. My least favorite characters, fucking Benji. This season, he fucking pissed me off. Season 2, bitch. He really aggravated me a lot. Because there were moments that I was like kind of rooting for him, like nearer to the beginning as they're like being supportive, when Victor's family wasn't being supportive and kind of being there. But there were moments I was also just like, sir. He kind of ended up being like an asshole and being so rude. Not only about Victor, particularly that fight that they have. It's like, oh, I always have to understand your problems. It's like none of this is my fault, and especially like you should be the one to understand this, which I just think is so stupid. Then outed Victor to his little brother when his mother had a fight. Like, that's none of your fucking business. And then started just being like an utter asshole. Like there were so many moments where like he was just being rude and just annoying, and I just generally do not think they're good for each other, like him and Victor. Oh, another thing that I really liked about it, and I think this was like very subtle, removed kind of stereotypes a lot. So again, if you watch a lot of media or queer media or anything with a gay character, the following happens. So usually when a character comes out, the mum is more accepting and the dad usually isn't. It takes a while for him to become. This time it was flipped. The dad was more accepting, and I really liked that because the dad honestly did try so hard, and I think he was working so hard because he was like, that's my child, I don't care, like I love my child because it's my child. Yes, dad! And it was so nice to see, because again, you don't really see that often, like dads and fathers being accepting in like relationships like this, so it's really nice to see. What else was really nice was also seeing that like, it wasn't the Christian parents who were accepting and the Muslim parents who weren't. It was actually the Muslim parents who were accepting and the Christian parents who kind of like weren't. Because at the end of the day, it's like, that's also a stereotype in a way that like Christianity is much more accepting. Religion is always a weird topic with the queerness, because in my opinion, you can be both. It never has been mutually exclusive. You can be both religious and queer. And it's kind of nice to show that like Muslim people being accepting, because oftentimes like Muslim representation ends up being like that they're extremely bigoted or whatever, and it's like, no, have you actually read the Quran? Because actually the Quran is very peace and accepting. So it was really nice to see them not do that and his parents be really accepting. I was just like, yes, bitch. And I really like to see it. Like I really did. I feel like it's really cool to see that the characters and things not necessarily be stereotypical. However, as much as I'm like, oh my god, we love to see the non-stereotypes, they also do portray stereotypes a lot. So for example, was it like that we're focusing on the man that's a bit more masculine versus the guy who's more feminine? Let me discuss. So, I am not saying that stories centered around masculine gay men are wrong or bad. I'm just saying that often with these masculine presenting gay men, they often are faced with a lot more complexity and a lot more well-roundedness, so they end up becoming a full character. And the sad thing is when often gay men who present as feminine are within media, they don't have the same treatment. Their femininity becomes humorous. It becomes camp and hilarious and funny instead of well-rounded characters. And while, yes, you do have characters, you do have well-roundedness like Eric from Sex Education, you don't have anymore. So I would love to see, I guess, more of a balance between masculine presenting and feminine presenting characters being presented as a full character. One of the things that I hate is cheating. So basically, if you did not know, a lot of the times in queer media, there's a stereotype of people cheating, and the stereotype in the outside world also is that gay men are more likely to cheat, and that is not true. And it's kind of annoying to see it being portrayed in this, because it's almost like giving permission for him to cheat also, because he doesn't really get consequences for cheating. It really just hurts Mia's feelings, and Mia is the one to suffer the consequences and being slut shamed for Victor cheating. Look how cute her nails are.
I'm scared.
You're an artiste. What can
Like an undercover agent.
International. Super spy. Super spy!
Stupid little penguin.
Leave the penguin be! I feel like people don't understand the severity of outing at all. Like, to out someone, no matter how accepting the society is, which by the way, I'm staring at you, society, fix up. It's still freaking annoying, because at the end of the day, don't do that. Coming out should be a person's decision when they feel comfortable, when they feel safe, and when they want to. Some people don't want to come out, and you know what? That is completely okay, because guess what? Not everyone freaking has to. Like, why would you out someone? You're forcing them to come out sooner than they are ready to. You are taking away their moment as a queer person to decide when to come out. It infuriates me, because again, it's like they throw it around like it's nothing. And even with like the beginning of season 1, it's like, oh, they're like, Simon has the perfect coming out. And I'm like, did he? He got fucking outed. Y'all forget that sometimes being gay is dangerous. And that's what I mean, it's kind of infuriating. I just wish that they kind of understood that, the writers, and stopped throwing that in. I wish Raheem would not fall in love with Victor or fancy Victor. I wish Raheem was just friends. I want Raheem to find someone amazing. Maybe they should just write me into it. I'll fall in love with Raheem. Oh, and then one thing else, there are moments when they start to bring in other topics and a lot more deeper topics like race and privilege within the community, femme shaming and whatever. And then they kind of just like ditch shit. And I'm like, why? Especially when they were in like the red light and they were talking about race and talking about like how Benji will never understand the relationship because like he has white liberal parents, but Victor's parents aren't. There is a totally different dynamic. You can't cut someone out because they've done so much for you, and oh my god, it was such an interesting bit, and I really liked that part actually because I felt like it really made the show deeper and it made a way more like understanding. But no, did they get into this topic? Of course not. There's also again like the femme shaming part. I wish they went deeper inside. I wish they got also a lot more deeper within certain things. Why did he just Simon? I loved they added Simon in it, and I loved like in series 1 when they all went like the big community and they all were helping him. At the end, that is a huge part of the community, supporting each other because we've all been through the same experiences as you. We've all dealt with what you've dealt with and we understand how you're feeling. That was so beautiful. I honestly love that so much. However, why did he then ditch Simon? It really fucking confused me. I guess it was that point like I have fully come to terms and I am fully accepted within my gay identity. I'm like, okay sir, we love to see that. But also it's like, as much as I do know, I'm like, it's just nice to have someone who also is in the community with you to talk about these things. It's so nice. And I don't understand like why at the end of the day, like he just went bye. We also love that there was a Graham cameo. Kane Rosedale, you will forever be in my heart. Overall though, my opinion, I actually really did enjoy this series. And I feel like it really was so good that they did develop more characters and there was a lot more queer issues in series 2. However, can we have more gay people please? Can we have more diverse representation please? I think that's so annoying. And also, can we have like queer people in the room while writing? Please, thank you, and good night. Now, that's kind of my video for you. If you did enjoy this video and you want more kind of videos like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment down below if I should do another series or And I shall see you guys next week with another new video. Bye!